Hey, yeah, good morning, family. I believe you are doing good this morning. So, I think we'll start with, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just indicate. All right. Can you hear me? Just indicate. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Just indicate. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So, what is still thinking? Think we look for more cells. Okay, do you have, um, for today, we'll be looking into, just a moment. Okay. Okay. In fact, let me ask rather. Um, let me ask rather. You have questions, right? Like all questions you have. Let's treat that while we talk about what for today. If you can hear me, right, Mr. Godson. Can you hear me? Okay. Since you have nothing to say, let me just well, in trading, right? There are so many approach, right? So you have the swing traders, and we have the day traders. We have the scalpers, right? We have these three types. So sometimes you can determine based on your trading style, you can tell the category you fall in, right? Based on your trading style, you can tell the category you fall in, right? So if you are more of a patient trader that likes looking at the overall movement of the chart, something like this, like looking at the overall movement of the chart, right? And like, you know what? Okay, um, today is Friday. This was Thursday. This is Friday. Friday has already swept the low of Tuesday. Okay, we're expecting a long move. Today being Friday, at least. If it's good enough, you can close towards the open of yesterday being Thursday, right? So with the 1 hour time frame, from the daily time frame, you can tell what the market is doing, right? So you can be a swing trader, right? If I'm looking at this chart, there's a possibility of it even um sweeping the high of Wednesday as well, right? But for now, you want to target at least the open, right, of Thursday, right, based on what you are seeing right now. Yeah, there's a gap here. If you're looking at it, there's a gap right here that the market has been trending upwards for like the longest time from 30th December. It's been a continuous upward trend, right? So and a gap was created and so many imbalances, right? So this sweep here was necessary, right? It was very necessary. So if you're observing the market from a large or a wider perspective, yeah, you see that everything is actually the market is doing what it's supposed to do regardless, right? Because there is no continuous upward trend. There is no continuous upward trend. These are days after days after days after days after days. There's no continuous upward trend, right? So let me clear all of this. There is no continuous upward trend. So once you observe that, and you're more of you like waiting for the markets to come to you, and you don't mind having your trades run for days, right? You can actually hold a buy right now. Of course, your stop loss might be very large, having a stop loss below the low of Tuesday, right? Or below the low of today. You can target anywhere, right? So now once you determine this now, you've seen that okay, your daily buyers, you're looking for a buy, right? First of all, another thing that can tell you that okay, you're quite correct is the rejection, right? The market opened right here, pushed down, then rejected, right? So this is like a very good um signal for to tell you that buyers are are in momentum, right? So what necessarily you're gonna do, you go down to your 4 hour time frame to see what exactly the market is doing. And this is it, right? Um this is 12 this is 12 midnight, of course. This was what's happened yesterday, right? This 12 midnight. What happened? Market came into this zone, of course. This is an FVG that was swept. This low was swept as well. So this is actually very, very vital. So if I'm taking this trade, I'm simply targeting, like, I'll look for a very good entry, target this high, right? Or this high over here. However the case is, so I'm looking at the market getting back to 5K today. If it will have the strength to go back to 5K, if it will have the moment to go back to 5K, right? So since I've determined that, the next thing is now to get my entry point, right? So I'll get onto 1 hour time frame to get my entry point, right? So what's my entry point going to be like? Not, no, why it's not so nice. Okay, okay. I'll go down to 1 hour time frame to get my entry point. Mm, 1 hour time frame to get my entry point. Okay, so right now I'm seeing a very clear entry right here, right? I'm seeing series of imbalance. I'm seeing a clear imbalance right here, right? This is an imbalance, right? So I would rather come in here. In fact, I've learned here that if you have an imbalance this size, it's always best to target the midpoint, right? If you have an imbalance this size, it's always good to target the midpoint. So how do I get the midpoint? I can intuitively get the midpoint, right? Or if I want to be so perfect with the midpoint, I can use my what's it called? Fibonacci. Just get the midpoint. Mm, this is it. So my entry will be 4792. So I'll simply sit here and wait. Or rather, wait this long. I'll simply sit here and wait. Right? Of course, my SL will be quite low here. Right? That's quite below this point. Maybe I might target it and choose to target this first high here. That's like perhaps enough for me. Or I decide to tap into this fair value gap here. In fact, this is a double imbalance. And in fact, looking at it as a high priority market, you're going to tap into this zone. Let me I hope I'm getting the right one. No, no, okay, this all right. Now I'm seeing a high imbalance here, which I doubt the market got to yesterday. All right, the market gave even tap into this area. So I'm already seeing a potential target zone. which is this over here, the potential target zone. So what am I gonna do? I'll simply push my into the first the first tip of the zone, right? I want to shoot way into it, right? So as you can see, I've got to my entry, right? This is what I'm looking at, right? So you're having like 176 points target, all right? This is like 1:4, almost 1:5. That's what you're risking right here. Also, no, just you can give enough space here. So this trade, it might not hit today, right? It might not hit today. It might hit till, let's say, it might react, it might fully hit your TP or your target zone by Monday, right? So, but this is what you're looking at, right? This is what you're looking at. On the 1 hour time frame, this is a down movement, very valid, right? But from the daily time frame you're looking at, it's actually a good entry for you to go in for a long, right? So, and you're not jumping into the market, you're waiting for the market to come into your zone of interest, right? What do you see? A clear hurdle gap, right? Which is a very good entry for you, right? Then your target is an area of double imbalance right here, which is a very key area that however the market does, market will go back to tap into this area, right? Go back to tap into this area, right? So another thing you can do, right, for yourself is um going down to even a lower time frame, right? Now, wait, now you can tell yourself, yeah, okay, for the longest time, the market has been trending downwards. This is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, right? What's the next high here? You can call this the high, right? Or you can call this the high, whatever the case is, right? So if we start to work with this high, right, this is a lower high, right? We expected to have we expected to have a lower low still. But what happened? Market created a higher low, right? Telling you that this trend is already reversing, right? What does it tell you? That this trend is already reversing, right? So in that case, all they are waiting for now is a confirmed um buy entry, right? And if I'm to break this entry even down, I have right here, I have series of FPG. I have one, I have two. This is almost, I don't know what to call this, right? I have one, I have two, right? And this first one here has been respected. And we want the market to tap into this zone as well. So for the sake, just to be on the right side, just to be on the safer side, I decided to adjust my risk below this area here. Because there's a probability the market might want to tap into this FPG before moving forward, right? Because it has respected this one. And I know for a fact the market will still tap into, there's a high probability it will. If you are looking at what's it called, support and resistance, this is a support zone that was broken, that in turn might be respected, right? This area right here might be respected. So the best thing I'm gonna do is to perhaps just adjust my stop loss into this area. So this would of course affect my risk to reward. It's keeping me at 1:3, okay, which is still very, very healthy. All right. Which is still very, very healthy to be on the safer side. So if you're trading this particular, if you're trading this particular trade right now, just know the risk is very high. You're risking $57. That's with the least, if it's 0.01 lot size. You're risking $57 for roughly 176, right? That's what you're risking here. What is that stuff? 176, you can see it. Right. So this is like a high risk trade. That's why if you're a swing trader, you cannot swing with your $100 account or on for gold, right? For gold. You cannot do that swing with gold. right now, but gold's movement now is crazy, right? So, but if you're not a swing trader, you're a day trader. In fact, if you're a day trader, you just target once this point comes, you target this high. That's enough for you. You're certain that okay, now it is the market will get here within the day. All right. Then if you're a scalper, I scalp most times, right? My trade last 15, 5, as the case may be, right? For scalping, I would come down to 1 minute time frame. Now I've seen what the market is doing on the 15 minutes time frame, right? I'll come down to 5 minutes time frame. All right. So same thing, the market has been trading downwards, right? Give a high, give a higher low, give a higher high, right? What I'm looking for now is a clear low, right? So with what I know, right? What I expect this market to do, let me just draw what I expect the market to do right now. It's ranging within this area. Sweep this liquidity down here. Then that's it. Sweep this. These lows here, they will be swept, certainly. Right? Sweep, tap into an area below here, right? Then disappear. That's what I'm expecting. All right. Right. That's what I'm expecting. Okay. All right. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a buy move, but this liquidity lying below this area here needs to be swept. And if you're waiting for it to be swept, you see it aligns with um the entry, right? Or the allowance we are giving our SL for the entry we took on the 1 minute on the 1 hour time frame. Right. So since you know you're expecting this, you just have to chill and wait. Right. So if you want to take your entry from the 5 minutes time frame, look for imbalance. Which of the imbalance have not been respected? Carefully here, this one has been respected. We can wait for this right here. Right? This one has been respected. The only valid one right here now is this very point. Right? This very area. Right? You can start to just mark it as an area of reference. Wait right here. Wait for the market to perhaps tap into this zone. If it will tap into it, we just have it there, right? You can set a value limit there. Just leave it. Your SL will be somewhere below here, then allow it to run. All right, allow it to run. Okay, so that is just it. Now, if you want to refine the entry even more, you want to take a premium scalper entry, yeah, you go down to your 1 minute time frame. Now, everything depends on how you approach the market, right? If you now swing traders, yeah, they might be very, very busy. Okay. They just get the entry, set their buy limits, their limit orders, and they're out. Get busy with other things. Day traders can do the same, right? Set their limit orders or stay, observe the market, get into their entries, and get out, right? Within that particular day. Yeah, for scalpers, you need to be very sharp. Yeah, your eyes need to be on the chart. Yeah, you see the entry, you get in 5 minutes, you're out. Sometimes 3 minutes, you're out. Sometimes 15 minutes, you're out. Right? That precise entry, that's just what it is. Okay, that's just what it is. So if you're the type, if you observe, you know your type. That's the most important thing in trading here is, some people it's very hard for some persons to conceptualize, yeah. You learn yourself in this game. You learn yourself. And the better you understand yourself, the better it is for you in the market. Right? right? The better you understand yourself, the better it is for you. So let's look at the 1 minute time frame to see what we can see here. Okay. So for the 1 minute time frame, I won't concern myself with anything below this area, right? I'm looking at what is actually happening here. I'll call this the market is ranging, right? There is always if you're I know I've talked about the rule of three, right? Um, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So these markets accumulating. The Now the crazier thing about this is the first part that is broken is probably the manipulating part, right? Wait for the market to drop. Okay, so if I'm to mark this zone right now, okay, it's making a move now. If I'm to mark this range now, I can say, I know to use this because I'll have to edit it. The range should be the average of this range should be something like this. I'm leaving at it. That's the average of this range, right? Average of this range. And what happened there? Boom, it broke above. Now, one can tell that, oh, this is like a manipulation, right? As the market to still sell into the zone, right? With what I've known, right? What I've known, the first part that is broken, in most cases here, it's just market manipulation, right? And it should distribute afterwards lower, right? So right now, we just sit chill and wait, right? So me as a scalper on the 1 minute time frame, I can enter a long trade here, look for a very good entry right here. Just jump in and take it as long as it can take me. Or I'll wait for a sell signal and take my sell. Right? So if the market another thing is if you're confused about the move in the market, if you're confused at any time, just let it be. You know, some of my best trades, I don't think too much about them. Right? Some of my best trades, I don't think too much about them. Right? Dive in. I just dive in. Right? So now you can see this as a double top and sell. In fact, you know what? Let's take a sell regardless. Let's just take a sell. No, no, no. Just take a sell and see. Okay. We sold. SL should be just let's say a few pips above here. Then our TP. We don't take too much. Our TP, let's say just into this point. Right? We are chasing roughly 11, 11 points or 11 pips. So that is it. That's what I'm looking at now, right? You can see I'm risking roughly 7 points or 7 pips for 11. That's like 7K for 11K. If I make a complete 1:2, I'll have to adjust my TP, of course, to a much lower zone, right? And even adjust my TP into this area here. But let's see if I can do that. Yeah, let's see if I can do that. Let me see if I can adjust it to let's say into this area. Let's watch it play out. We've done our part. So we are risking 7 points for 20 points, right? I'm selling at a double top. All right. I'm selling at a double top. So let's watch it long. It shouldn't even be this long, yeah. Can even close off once it gets here. Do that. So that's just about it. If I get taken out, fine, cool. But I know I have something backing up the decision I'm making, right? So that's how it is. If I get taken out, good. But I know I have something backing up what I'm taking, right? If I get taken out, I know, okay, that this double top, they actually hold, right? So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. All right. So I think we will be taking out, I'll be taking out in a few moments now. Now, that's one thing about scalping. When it comes to scalping, you don't dwell too long. In fact, if you see yourself adjusting stop loss in your scalp trade, just know you're already on the wrong side. Scalp is in and out, right? If it takes you out, fine. If it doesn't, good, right? If you plan scalping and you're already spending a long time on the trade, just think about it. You might just be on the, just think about it. That's just it. Think about it, right? So that's just it about it, right? So today we talked about different um trading styles. The swing, which of course we got our entry on the 4 minute 1 hour time frame, right? We have the market, we're waiting for it right here, okay, for our swing trade. And on the 15 minutes, we got another entry around here, and of course, I just not stop loss as well. This area itself could be a very good for entry for 15 minutes. For 5 minutes, we have a very good entry as well. For 1 minute, we saw the market ranging. That's on the 1 minute time frame. We saw the market ranging within a particular area, then broke, right? But our bias for the 1 minute time frame is now the 1 minute time frame might be posing like a long market, right? But we know that this is just a manipulation, right? So I don't know. To break down thing down even more, let me just show you. When I say manipulation, I mean something like this. I'll see this one is actually coming down, right? Something like this. Accumulation, accumulation, yeah. Manipulation. This is for a long move or distribution. Then, of course, it will close, the moment will close above where it stopped. That's it. All right. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's exactly what is happening on this 4 minute time frame. Right. So if I can get a holistic view of this very moment, this is 3:28 so if I can go that 1 to 4 hours time frame, this is probably what you'll be seeing on the 4 hours time frame. So let us look at the 4 hours time frame. Just that very candle on 4 hours. I pray to be so clear for us to see. Mm. Now let me delete this because it's not necessary for now. So for our time frame, mm, for our time frame, give me what I really want. Let me see if I can get it. Um, mm, right. So for 4 hours time frame, okay, it's not exactly giving me what I want, though. It's not exactly giving me what I want. I expected something like um I think it should be oh yeah, I've been taken out. Oh, that's nice, right? For 4 hours time frame. Okay, for 4 hours time frame, you're already seeing the market open right here, right? Manipulated down here. Then of course it's distributing upwards, right? But for what you're looking on the 1 hour, let me see if 1 hour can give me what I want still. 1 hour is not giving what I want still, right? I want something like this, right? Are you seeing this? Something similar to this thing I drew here. Very nice, no longer that. Can see open, manipulate, distribute, then of course close. The market always does this. Always, always. That's why if you're trading towards the close of the day, right? Just start taking let's say you are looking for a sell towards the close of the day. Just either you go out of that position because the market will start pulling back upwards, right? The market will start pulling back upwards. Imagine this is let's use an actual day for instance. Okay, let's say you sold yesterday, right? Let's say you took a sell around here and the market sold well and you're still holding and it's approaching like 10:30, 11 p.m., just almost 11 p.m. when the market closes. Just close your entry because before 11 p.m., market will pull back up and close around here. It always does that. It always does that, right? So that's just a way to be, just things you need to know in the market regardless. Just things you need to know. And so that is it. That is it. This would have been a very good entry, but that's what, well, that's scalping for you anyway. That's scalping for you anyway. That's scalping for you anyway. That's scalping for you. We sold right here. Got taken away. Whatever it is though. So that's it for it, family. I hope you got something today, and I believe you got something. So we get again next week, right? Have the best day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers. Mhm.